won't never spend my Bitcoin right now until it raises to where I think it needs to be. Remember that number, 100 million. I firmly bet my life that not in my lifetime, but maybe in my children's lifetime, that one Bitcoin today that's worth 40,000 is gonna be worth about $100 million. So what do? I buy and stack for my kids. You can stack for your future.
Hello, all right, everyone. Hello, and welcome to Ahead of the Crypto Curve, where we are creating Satoshi millionaires, one family at a time, one Bitcoin at a time, one Satoshi at a time, and that means you. I am your host, Najah Roberts, aka Young Harriet, and it is my mission in life to lead my people out of financial slavery. And I am so excited about today. As always, ladies and gentlemen, I love to teach about cryptocurrency, specifically Bitcoin, and what it can do to change the financial trajectory of our community. But I have some life issues that are happening, and I want to make sure, and they're not bad issues, they're just life issues. And I like to let you know how crypto is affecting the markets, how they affect our community, and how they affect your life in general. So please allow me this day today to share some of the fabulous things that are happening in my life around the space of cryptocurrency. So before we do that, in observance of Women's Her Story Month, I have a quote that I am going to read today. And that quote says, "But while I may be the first woman in this office, I will not be the last, because every little girl watching tonight sees that this is a country of possibilities. And to the children of our country, regardless of your gender, our country has sent you a clear message. Dream with ambition, lead with conviction, and see yourselves in a way that others may not, simply because they've never seen it before." Kamala Harris. So we are making sure that we are celebrating Women's Her Story Month with the right quote today. I see somebody smiling at me in the station, and so there's something behind that. But we just really appreciate all of our women that are in this space, and all the women in the world, no matter where you are, that are listening today. There is some really incredible things happening in all of your spaces, and we just want to acknowledge all of you for all that you do, and all that you share, and all that we are going to do in the near future. So, we got a lot of things going on in the cryptocurrency space. I'm going to go with some of the latest news first, and then we'll talk about some of the things that are happening life-wise, and then we're going to talk about other regions of the United States that we rarely hear about. And the reason I'm going to talk about these other regions in the United States is because some of them have said, forget the U.S. dollar, but we never hear about that on the news. And the reason I'm going to talk about that today is because a lot of people say, do you really think Bitcoin is going to work? Do you really think these cryptocurrencies are going to work? And I say yes, because there's already different regions, cities, states that actually have their own currency that are other than the U.S. dollar that nobody ever talks about. So I decided to do some digging today. I'm going to bring up those places so that you can do your research yourself and see how well it works with them circulating their dollar within their community. So that being said, one of the articles that I want to talk about today was Miss Janet Yellen. And she is sounding like she is trying to be more constructive as it relates to acknowledging cryptocurrency's role in finance. And so the former Fed chair, who's currently the Treasury Secretary, had really been skeptical about cryptocurrency in 2008. And she said that she wasn't a fan of Bitcoin. However, it seems as though she is starting to acknowledge that cryptocurrency is growing, and in the role of specifically the American finances during an interview that she did on Friday, and said that she will work towards creating a regulatory environment conducive to the innovation that the cryptocurrency and Bitcoin brings to our world. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is a big change from some of the things that we've seen from Miss Janet Yellen, because she's been very outspoken. She's been a very outspoken critic of Bitcoin specifically. And so with her saying that, she also, this is just a real change from what from what we're used to hearing coming out of the administrations. And so this is pretty interesting. And so we know that there is a whole government that we've got to deal with. And as you all know, I will be on Capitol Hill on April the 4th. If you're in the DC area, the DMV, or anywhere where you could drive, fly, or walk, please get to the Capitol. We're going to be on the west steps of Capitol Hill on April 4th, and we are going to be letting Congress, everyone that's in session, that's inside of the Capitol building, know that we are the Black and brown community of cryptocurrency. We are here. We're going to be there in their face for them to see us and recognize us and ask us what needs to happen as it relates to our community, so that when they get this done, they get it done right for our community. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, today is Friends and Family Friday. So if you wish to call in, please do so. That number is 800-920-1580. Again, that number is 800-920-1580. And I love to hear from you. If anybody has any questions, anything that you want to ask me, or anything that you want to share, today is the day to do it, because I want to make sure that maybe if you just need to catch up on something, you need to know a basic question like what maybe even a wallet is that you have, or that maybe you're having trouble with a specific exchange, reach out. We can talk about that as well, because your question will help someone else in this space to understand some of the ins and outs. So with that being said, when we come forward, we will begin to talk about a couple of other things that are in the news. I'm going to tell you about some of my personal situations in the crypto space that can help you, or maybe help you with your children. This is KBLA Talk 1580. All right. So there are a couple of things that I want to share just in the news, so I can help us really make sure that we have everything in the proper perspective. First of all, Bitcoin, as you may or may not know, has been rising in value. We hit right now we're at 44,400 and 500 based on coin market cap. And a lot of people are excited. A lot of people are bullish about that. Bullish meaning they're believing that it's going to go as high as 100,000 sometime this year. We're not banking on that. We're never banking on that, because no one has a crystal ball to know what's going on. But what we do know is that there are so many things that Bitcoin can do as far as price action. So we want to change our mindset as opposed to really worrying about the price. And again, I know that I'm dollar cost averaging $6 a day, but this is really the time to see when or if there is some money that you may be able to, that you can afford to lose. Let's just keep saying it that way. If this thing is not what you would hope it would be. And I always have to say that as an ex-financial advisor on purpose, just making sure that our community is well aware that there is a possibility, like anything that you invest in, that it could go to zero. But we are doing our very best to make sure that we're doing our due diligence and just betting. And I'm betting my last dollar that this will not take that turn, because money is changing. And we have to know that. And so with that, we don't want to get excited because the price is $44,000. We also don't want to think that we have to have a whole $44,000 to buy a Bitcoin. You can start with $6, $5, $4, $2, whatever amount that you have that you can actually invest and purchase some Bitcoin called Satoshis. You would be, if you did $1 or $6, you would be doing Satoshis. not necessarily Bitcoin. 100 pennies in a dollar, 100 million Satoshis in a Bitcoin. And I'm going to keep reiterating that so that we can always have an understanding for those that may be listening for the very first time. Well, so that's where we are. So the mindset behind this is that you just get a little bit at a time. The price is today 44,000. So today when I buy my $6 worth of Satoshis, I'm going to get a little less Satoshis than I did yesterday when I purchased, and it wasn't exactly 44,000, 44.4. So when your dollar cost averaging, it allows you to take advantage of the highs and the lows. And so we want to have that mindset, but we also want to start looking around to see where maybe we can shave back some things. One of the things that I stopped doing, and I wasn't going to Starbucks for coffee, I was going to Starbucks for tea, because of I'm always talking. Like I've been on the phone talking since 4 o'clock this morning with appointments and all sorts of things. I used to buy tea all the time, a medicine ball. So what I did one day was bought a medicine ball, took the tea out, which I'd never really paid attention to the type of tea. I would just buy it and throw it in the trash. I figured out where to buy it. I stocked up on the tea myself, started making my own medicine balls every day. Therefore, I have that $6 to dollar cost average into Bitcoin. I'm not saying go cold turkey on the things that you're doing, but you can find a way to shave some things here and there. So do not be excited about the price going up. In my opinion, I love when the price is down because that gives our community an opportunity to participate in more Satoshis. When it gets to 100,000 or when it gets to 1 million, and where I think it's going eventually is 100 million, we're still going to be able to participate, but we're only going to have, let's call it, the little pennies of the dollar instead of eventually having all that we need as it relates to, the Bitcoin that we could have acquired right now while it's down low. And the other thing that I'm seeing already, because the price is going up, is an influx of people wanting to buy Bitcoin from our exchange. Nothing wrong with that at all. But I really wish that we could change our mindset when we are buying when it is low and not necessarily getting in and on what they think the hype is because the news or different people are talking about it. This is a total mindset shift. We've got to do this different than we've done any investment in the past because this is a whole different ball game. So that's what I wanted to say on that. The other thing that I wanted to say is on a personal note. And I know that we've got a couple of callers that are calling in, and please be patient with us. We will make sure that we're going to get to your questions. So hold on and thank you for calling in. But we're going to I'm going to get into, let me do this news really quick. There's companies that are actually jumping into the cryptocurrency space. And one of the ones that I would like for us to keep an eye on, those of us that are in the black and brown community, is a company called Jump Crypto. They're not a black owned company. They're I believe they're out of Barcelona. But this company called Jump Crypto is going to be not focusing on trading or anything. They're focusing on builders. And I know that in our black and brown community, we have a lot of developers that may be looking to get a really great job in the cryptocurrency in the DeFi space. DeFi stands for decentralized finance. Jump Crypto, and you can Google it. They are coming in here putting up $320 million to really help just combat some of the things that are happening in the DeFi space. And so I want you all to keep an eye on that. You don't necessarily have to do anything with that. For those of you that are developers or know someone that is a developer just in the regular space, think it may be a good company to watch. This is the time for us to get in. All of these things are just starting to just gear themselves up to get ready to tackle some of the things that are happening in the cryptocurrency and the blockchain space. And I will tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that this innovation is here. It is here to stay. People are waking up, and we have an opportunity as the black and brown community to get our fair share before they wake up, because we no longer have to be last to the party. We can be first. That being said, my son my son, one of my sons. We have several sons. I tell you all, we have 10 children in total. But one of my sons, age 26, just touched down in Texas yesterday. He applied after me coming back from the mining tour that we took. My husband and I were in Texas for a mining conference. There is another young lady, as you all may have known, Kimberly Booker, who's very instrumental in the mining community. She gave a call to us and let us know that she was putting out some info for her children as well as one of my sons to work for a mining company. That they had to fill out the application. They had to do all their due diligence. Nothing is given to anyone. But my son reached out as well as her children did and put in applications for a mining company. They flew my son into Texas, and I was elated today when I got a call from my child, who, has been to the Navy. He's done all sorts of different things, but really hasn't found his niche in life. There's no sonar technology out here in the streets, right? Or in the real world. I'll say it that way. I think the Navy is the real world. However, just hasn't found anything, that's vertical to what he learned in the Navy. And so, he went out to he interviewed with this company. They flew him out. I got this call today, and I have not, since probably junior high school or high school, heard excitement that I heard in my son's voice today. He was like, "Mom, this job is the business." And I said, "What?" He was like, "Oh my goodness." He just kept saying it. "It's the business. It's the business." I said, "Well, tell me, what's the business?" And he said, "I just found out that entry level," because he's new to this Bitcoin mining thing. He knows nothing about it whatsoever. But he said, "I just found out that if I do well and I learn what I need to learn in the next 3 months, in the next 90 days, they're going to give me a raise to $110,000 a year." And he said, and within the next year, my contract states that if I get into upper management within the mining company, I'll be making between $220,000 a year to $400,000 a year, depending on what I'm doing. I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen, but that is a scream. If I could scream and wouldn't lose my voice, I would scream for y'all. I am super, super excited about the opportunities that cryptocurrency, that blockchain, that Bitcoin, that all of these things are bringing to our community. And one of the things that we're realizing is that, yes, there's going to be, there's problems everywhere as far as race. Let's just keep that real. But what I did find and have found is that a lot of the folks that are on the ground doing the work, they are very open, not because of they have to be included in diversity and inclusion, but they are really, really open to helping us get into the spaces that we need to get into because they know that we haven't had the opportunity in the traditional market. So if there was ever a time for us to talk to our youth about getting into the tech space, talk to our college students about getting into the tech space, talk to as grown adults, we can go and learn how to do some of these things. If there was never, ever, ever a time for us to start looking at some different ways that we can bring wealth and money into our families, this is the time. Because I've been one of those people that have always told my children, whatever you do, understand that you've got to be the producer and not the actual consumer, or be the entrepreneur and not necessarily the employee. But when the employee can make $300,000 in their first year, or $200,000, let's just take it down to the lowest on his contract, $200,000 after his first year of doing what he needs to do and doing and learning all the things that he needs to learn. This is an opportunity for us, ladies and gentlemen. So I just wanted to give that praise report out because I've been talking about talking about what this looks like for our community. And I can honestly say that it is an absolutely phenomenal thing. I also want to share with you that yesterday I had the privilege in passing to talk to Congresswoman Maxine Waters, who came in to the radio station here at KBLA to do a do a show with Dominique DePrima, which we want you all to absolutely listen to. And again, Dominique Tavis, I can go on and on. I'm listening to this station, not just because I'm on it, but because there is so much good information. Last night, I was listening at 11 o'clock to Danny Morrison last night, and just great information. I was listening to Lynn yesterday, and if you listen really closely, I success leaves clues, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna tell you about me and Maxine in the conversation, but I wanted to say this. Some of the things that are happening in our community will give you clues as to what you need to be doing with your money. We've been having talks. We had a talk this morning. I was on a show this morning talking to people about, FDIC insurance. If someone is coming to you with a cryptocurrency opportunity right now in 2022, and they're telling you that it is backed by the FDIC, they are not telling you the truth. And I really have to say that because that was the conversation that I was having back channel with somebody this morning. A new opportunity is here. They want us to invest in somebody else's cryptocurrency, not Bitcoin, but it's FDIC insured. Not possible. Not possible, not possible, not possible. And it's going to come through our black community, and it's going to sweep our black community and our brown community. And we need to know that when you hear somebody give you that jargon, it is totally incorrect. It is incorrect. So do not fall for that. One of the other things that they're going to say, and I'm getting going somewhere. I'm going to tell you about the conversation with Congresswoman Maxine Waters. We call her Auntie Maxine. The other thing that they're saying is that it's insured with Lloyd's of London. Ladies and gentlemen, Lloyd's of London is absolutely insuring cryptocurrency companies for certain aspects of their company, but they're not insuring your investment in those companies. So please do not be deceived. Please understand, when you start hearing that language, people don't know what the heck they're talking about, and you need to run, Forrest, run. One of the other things, there's just so many things that I've heard in the last couple of days that I really want to make sure that our community is understanding. A lot of these coins that are coming up in the black and brown community, selling you shares in their company, giving you trinkets that you can hold in your hand, saying that they're either gold or silver, but they're nicely locked in cases. People aren't opening those cases in our community, and they're like these little coins. They're locked in a case. I'm not going to say the name of the coin, but they're locked in this little case. They're selling that for, I believe it's $250, telling you that you've bought into this coin. So you get the gold in return, but this is locked in this case. So you second guess yourself to open the case that is locked, because you think if you open it, you're going to lose the value of that coin or that token. Some people have asked, should they open it up and take it to a jeweler and have them test to see how much gold is actually in there? But then that would mean they are devaluing their coin that is in this little case. Well, as we know, cryptocurrency is digital first and foremost. So, and it should be. I don't know. There will never, ever be a real physical Bitcoin. There'll never be a lot of none of these other coins will have physical actual coins, but there's one coming through our community that has a physical coin. And I know, unfortunately, a couple of people that bought it first and then asked me later. And that's, again, folks can do what they want to do when they want to do it, but I want to keep our community safe. So please, ladies and gentlemen, reach out to me and let me give it a look over, a once over, before you go and invest in some things that you don't know what they are. So I wanted to say that. And I guess when we come forward, when we come forward, I will share with you what Auntie Maxine and I talked about briefly. And then I'm going to read the letter that Dianne Feinstein sent to me last night. I saw in my email when I got home, and really just help our community get to where we need to get. And that's to safe in this space. And when we come forward, we'll talk about that. And I appreciate everybody's patience today as we go through what cryptocurrency is and meaning to all of us and what the personal experiences are, which hopefully will help you in the near future. This is KBLA Talk 1580. All right. And we have a caller on the line. And I want to let the caller that called in before him know that I will definitely be answering your question in just a second. But because Corey's still holding, what I'll do is answer him first, and then I will address some of the questions that you left with our station. So thank you for calling in. So Corey, welcome.
Thank you, Najah, and congratulations to your son.
Absolutely.
It's wonderful news.
Yes, it is. Definitely.
So speaking of sons, I have two sons that are 9 and 12. And my question is, what is the best way to invest in Bitcoin on their behalf?
So what I do for the children at Crypto Kids Camp and the children that live in my home, I still have 4 little ones at the house. They all hold Edge wallets. So Edge, EDGE. And if you send me a message either at asknajaroberts@gmail.com, or you can text me and I'll give that number out in a little bit. But I can give you a link for Edge wallet. And all you have to do once you download the Edge wallet is you can set them up an email address, because that's all it asks for. And once you set up an email address, you can give them their own individual accounts on, let's just say, your cell phone. So let's just say one of the children's name is Tony. So you can set Tony's wallet up. You buy the Satoshis and you give it to Tony every time, they get good grades. I do it when, instead of the Tooth Fairy, we have the Satoshi Fairy at my house. Everything that I do, all the rewards are in Bitcoin, or Satoshis, not Bitcoin, but in Satoshis. That's just one way that you can do it, because the children can actually have their own wallet on their cell phone. If they're, your children. So the children that are more trustworthy, don't lose their phone, etc. You can allow them to have maybe a certain amount on there. That's one way. The other way is that you start yourself up an Edge wallet, and inside of the Edge wallet, you can compartmentalize child 1, child 2, child 3, so you can keep track of the Bitcoin or the Satoshis that you have there. And that is on the warm wallet side. But in the cold storage, I use Ledger. So Ledger allows me to compartmentalize all 10 of my children and the different allotments of Satoshis that are in there based on what I'm putting for that particular child, if that makes sense. But they don't have access to it because I'm the one that holds my seed words, my mnemonic phrases, and things like that. But that's what you can do to start implementing the children into the Bitcoin space. My 10 and 11 year olds, they have their own cell phones that they don't take to school, that have their Bitcoin just on the Edge wallet. And again, it's not a lot. It's just like Tooth Fairy money or A's and B money, book reading money, just those sorts of things. And we just transferred it, the Bitcoin to them on those cell phones that do not go to school, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for that, Najah, and I'll go ahead and email you as well.
Yes, absolutely. Please do so. And if you need to, if anybody else has any questions about any of that stuff, feel free to send me a text message at 424-317-73173. Again, that's 424-317-73173. 7373. And then also I want to let everyone know who may be just tuning in, maybe the last week or two, or even the last month. If you go and download the KBLA app on your cell phone, you can literally go to Ahead of the Crypto Curve and you can find the very first episode that we did, which was introducing everyone to cryptocurrency. And if you're listening to that, it'll help bring you up to speed to where we are today. I just wanted to say that really quickly, not to you necessarily, Corey, just thought about that. So I wanted to say that. But from day one, it walks you up to get to where we are today. So I want to make sure that our community is understanding that information is there from day one. We started this back in January. So all those podcasts are available for you to go back in and listen. And then please ask your friends and family to download the KBLA app. Find those first episodes to help them understand what Bitcoin is, how we got to this thing called Bitcoin, and what it means to the Black and brown community. So, Corey, I appreciate your question. Was that it? Are you complete?
I just want to let you know I downloaded the Black Wall Street app, and I've been doing the daily DCA.
Oh, absolutely. That's awesome. That's good news to hear. Thank you for sharing, and I appreciate you. And anything you need, yes, sir. Let us know. Let us know. That's what we're here for. All right, sir. You have an incredible day.
Too.
All right. All right. So, we were going to talk about what Auntie Maxine and I had a little quick chit chat about. So basically, I saw her in the lobby here at KBLA, and, she was sharing with me that, she is working with or starting to listen to and talk with the big five or the big 3 or 4 or 5 of them. And so we all know who those are, the individuals that have just taken over the naming rights of the Staples Center and some of these other ones. And I wanted to make sure that she was quite aware that we've had some issues. And before she goes in talking to them and listening to whatever they're going to be pushing out into her ears, I really thought it would be a good idea if she actually talked to those of us that are in this space that actually know what is really going on with those exchanges. But one of the biggest things that bothered me about the conversation with Congresswoman Maxine Waters yesterday was she said, we're going to watch what one of these companies is doing in Jamaica. It was either Jamaica or the Bahamas with something called the sand coin. And what bothers me about that is first and foremost, that is them taking advantage again of a group of individuals that don't know this space at all, because they're either in the Bahamas or in Jamaica, wherever it is that they're going. And I'm not saying this, I don't want nobody to invest in sand coin. But the other comment that she made was, we're going to see how it works with them. But that's not Bitcoin. And how it works for them is not necessarily going to be good, because first and foremost, that is a centralized platform from what I can see that the company that is trying to sell it controls. And we definitely don't want to get our community going down that rabbit hole. And so when we're looking at these different projects, it is critically important for our powers that be to really understand how this stuff works and what happens. And so, of course, she was headed into another interview, so I didn't really have the opportunity to expound on what the implications of her gauging the success of this I'll call it one of the top exchanges on a community that doesn't know better. And so we really got to be careful with that. And so I'm hoping to be able to sit down with her very soon and really explain this stuff to her so that she understands. I know that several of the other congresswomen that are running for Congress are looking to understand, learn, and we're going to be doing some sessions at my office here in Inglewood with them. But I really, really hope that a lot of our leaders are really getting themselves the right understanding, because they're getting it from the wrong people who have the wrong intentions. And those intentions, again, are to extract monies from our Black and brown community because they don't know any better. And if you can get somebody behind you like Auntie Maxine to think that you're doing the greatest thing, what is that going to do? It's going to lead our community to go and buy and participate into something that is absolutely controlled by one group of men. And we put ourselves back in the same position as we have done with this Federal Reserve System. And that's not where we want to go with that. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I got a letter from Dianne Feinstein last night in reference to a letter that we sent out to her and several other people on Capitol Hill as it relates to cryptocurrencies in our community and what needs to be done for our community specifically. And basically the letter just came back no better than when we sent our original letter, just saying that they're working on some sort of implementing some sort of regulation and controls and those sorts of things. And so basically saying, they want to make sure that criminals and thieves don't utilize Bitcoin. Just the same thing that they've been saying over and over. I don't want to say the same rhetoric, but pretty much. And so what we've got to do is really figure out how to most effectively educate our leaders so that they are doing the right thing for us, by us, with us as we stand. So to that end, I will say when we come forward, we're going to talk just a little bit more about one of the other callers' questions. I'm going to tell you all how you can find different places to meet up, different courses, different things that are going on in the space. This is KBLA Talk 1580. All right. We are here, friends and family, Friday, and I wanted to just really quickly answer the question of the young lady who couldn't stay on hold. She asked, was the Black Wall Street wallet a wallet or an exchange? So it is both. So let me help you understand that. Once you get inside of, it is a hot wallet. And again, if you go back to like the past shows on the podcast, you'll be able to hear the difference between a warm wallet, which was Exodus that I just talked about, which is halfway online, halfway offline. And the Black Wall Street wallet is a hot wallet, just like an exchange. So a hot wallet is where you buy the Bitcoin and they actually custody it for you. They hold it for you. So they'll hold it for you. They have the passwords. They have the seed words. They have the access to getting it off the blockchain and moving it for you until you decide to go into the Black Wall Street wallet and actually move it to either a cold storage wallet, which is a ledger device, or one of the other cold storage devices that you have. So to answer your question, it is both a wallet and an exchange. Just like you would do at like I hate to keep naming companies because we don't want folks going over and supporting those other ones that don't really support us, but like a Binance or a Kraken or a Gemini, that is also a hot wallet. They have their own wallets inside of their platforms. So that's what the Black Wall Street wallet is. Even though it's on your cell phone, we're just 100% honest about that so that our community understands the difference. But the reason why we rock with and support the Black Wall Street wallet is because it's Black owned. And so we're doing our very best to get ourselves acclimated to this whole cryptocurrency space where we're able to have our own cold wallet as well, just like Cash App has a hot wallet, and now they have a cold storage wallet as well. So we're evolving and things are moving, and so I hope that helps you. And the other thing that you asked was how you get a hold of our classes. You can go to, for me, I think this is the easiest thing for you to do is either send me that email, which was askNajahRoberts@gmail.com, or send me a text message, 424-317-7373. And then I can refer you to the different events that I do every month that are free. Wine, Women, and Crypto. I do On the Block. I do Bitcoin Business Basics. I also do something called Coinonomics. We break down the different coins that people are trying to shield. We call it shield, SHILL, to our community. People are trying to shield us stuff. We want to know what it is, who it is, where you came from, and what sense does this make with this particular coin. So we do that every single month through my exchange, which is Crypto Blockchain Plug. But also you can go to meetup.com/crypto plug. Again, meetup.com/crypto plug. And you can find all of the events that I do all month that are around cryptocurrency, and most of them are free. And while we're talking about free, I want to quickly say that I would like to challenge each and every one of you to tell at least 5 people you know to download this app over the weekend. Why am I saying that? Because this morning I did a show for a company called Real Vision. They charge their members $2,500 a month to get the same information that you're getting free here on KBLA, thanks to Mr. Tavis Smiley. You get it for free $99. They're paying $2,500 a month. And the least we can do is get this app out there for the community so they can get this information. So I am challenging everyone who is listening today to find 5 people in your family, your friends, people on the street that you meet in the store. Ask them to download this KBLA app, and let's pay Tavis Smiley back with supporting this this radio station, because you're not paying the $2,500. So this is an incredible thing that he is doing for our community. So I want to say thank you to him by those downloads. So please do me that favor and ask everybody to download the app. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, when we come forward, we are going to do our daily dollar cost average. This is Najah Roberts, and this is Ahead of the Crypto Curve. All right, and before we dollar cost average, I'm going to make sure that I give you that information that I promised, and that is for you to do some research over the weekend and look up Hudson Valley, HUDSON Valley. They have their own currency. They literally have said no to the US dollar. No, it's not Bitcoin, but Hudson Valley Current has operated and has their own currency that they use. And I'm just going to read a really quick quote from one of the residents. He said, if I go to the hardware store where they say local, shop local, then they send all that money to China if I use regular dollars. But if I use my current, because that's what their thing is called, currents, at the hardware store, then they consciously have to source their products from someone local. And again, research Hudson Valley, ladies and gentlemen. It is already being done. It's already being done effectively. We could have done this as a community a long time ago, but it takes all of us to work on doing things like that. But currency outside of the US dollar can absolutely work. That's why I wanted to bring that up. With that being said, we're going to dollar cost average on our Black Wall Street wallet. So ladies and gentlemen, we'll open up the app really quickly. And when we open it up, we're going to go to I'm all colors today. The purple circle that has the two arrows that go each direction. I'm going to click buy Bitcoin. I'm going to click the frequency is one time. I'm going to click $6. I'm going to hit continue. I'm going to buy my Satoshis, which is the smallest increment of a Bitcoin, $6 worth of it right now. My fee is 11 cents on the Black Wall Street wallet. I have just purchased it. And ladies and gentlemen, I am going to $6 a day, which is for the next year on this radio show, so that we can see where I end up with $6 a day DCAing, meaning dollar cost averaging, because as I say, a DCA a day keeps poverty away. And I'm going to prove to you that a DCA a day keeps poverty away. But hopefully by the time you start DCAing, hopefully it's not up to 100,000, and then our little $6 is going to get us much less Satoshis. But that's neither here nor there. Hopefully you are starting and can afford to lose $6 a week or $6 a month, and you'll start DCAing. So the other thing I want to share with you all is that you can follow me on social media. I am Najah Roberts on all social medias, no underscores, no dots, no anything. Najah Roberts, all on social media. Remember, you can go back and listen to those podcasts to help bring yourself up to speed. And we are going to have, we have the commercials that run for the Virtual Underground Railroad, and that's it's virtual undergroundrailroad.io if you're interested in that. And I will also be doing a ledger course next month to help you understand how to take your Bitcoin from the Black Wall Street once you buy it into your own cold storage device. This is KBLA 1580. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have the fabulous DL Hughley Show. Again, this is KBLA Talk 1580.